Yes, everyone, you know what time it is. It's your boys Jack and Dave here to give you a quick little Twitter reacts because I know you guys like to see what everybody else in the Spurs community has to say, and we're going to take a look at what various players had to respond to because certain players are posting about their time in Singapore as well as all of you guys on the Twitter sphere, on the Spurs Twitter sphere to be particular, see what you guys have to say. But let's start with the one and only Richie and Tottenham Hotspur are already tweeting out they're getting behind the man over in Singapore, Dave. Do you feel like Richarlison is, he's not really had a lot of great moments, but this could actually sadly be one of his best, nights maybe in a Spurs shirt. He's probably a very happy guy, no negative attention.
Look, that's why I said he shouldn't have swapped his hat trick shirt at the end, Jack. He may never score a hat trick in the Tottenham jersey again. But he's definitely left his impression for sure. You'll have the whole of Singapore now walking around doing the pigeon.
We had at least four pigeon celebrations during the watch along, everybody, in case you missed it. Billy saying, wait, the B team is the one? And then he says, always has been. I do like that, Dave. What are your thoughts on maybe the B team, just quickly, kind of being so, let's say, just instantly impactful, instantly, better than what we've seen from the first team consistently?
Yeah, that's Levy with the caption, always has been. Look, Jack, the thing with the B team is, and you know what, I had a good conversation about on the post match reaction, so go and check that out if you haven't already. But, in the first half, you've got Son and Kulu cutting in on their preferred foot, right? So they're slowing everything down. When you look at the wingers in the second half, they're playing on, like Perisic's left foot is playing on the left, and whoever's been playing on the right, like Alfie Devine, for instance, or Solomon today, playing on the right footed. So when they get the ball out wide, they're swinging it in. But Son is right footed playing on the left, and Kulu's left footed playing on the right. So their natural instinct is to cut in. And that's why you're seeing Richarlison get the chances he's getting and Kane getting the chances he's getting.
Billy says it's been a great 24 hours of PR for Spurs. Look at this, Dave. This has just come in that the Premier League will discourage its clubs from doing business with the Russian counterparts after it emerged that THFC had agreed a deal with Spartak Moscow for Davinson Sanchez. You feel like we're on the naughty list now already with the Premier League, and also it actually is quite funny how Spurs, when we do have a bad PR week, we love to maybe do one after another. It's never just one thing.
No, it's never just one thing. I mean, sanctions coming in from everywhere, Jack. Look, first of all, I want to say quickly, I don't blame Sanchez if he doesn't want to move to Russia. If he turns that one down, I'd say okay, fair enough. But yeah, look, I'm surprised that they didn't already put it in after the whole Abramovich thing out. They sort of got him out of Chelsea and everything else. I'm surprised they didn't double down and sort of have something like that in place already.
And Simon Yemain saying Solomon is still underrated. I've always liked him, but I didn't expect him to look that comfortable on the right side as well. I sort of was also interested to see how he would fare on the right. I don't know how much you can read into it because he is coming up against a Lion City Sailors fullback, especially I think a second half version of the fullback as well. But at the same time, his moves were very different from how he was on the left. He didn't seem that predictable. He was actually very good at sort of faking, to come inside with a pass or, to pass it back inside. But then he would actually quickly, roll it over his foot and touch it around to the outside of his man and really kind of keep him guessing. And that's all I can say is, at least on the right, it looked like he did exactly what he does on the left, is continue to keep them guessing, really does enjoy trying to take on his man and sort of make him look a bit embarrassed, as well as just make that bit of space, make those bit of openings so that maybe he can either have a shot or play someone else in. So I think Solomon did look effective on the right. I'd like to see another game, though, maybe against Shakhtar, his former side, or also Barcelona, maybe on the right, to really get that confidence, whether he can do it. Zoe is saying Giovanni Lo Keepso. Dave, where do you stand on him right now?
I think I'm going to have to sign that apology form just below it, Jack, if you want me to be completely honest. Look, I'm willing to eat humble pie on this. I never really have to eat humble pie usually, but on this one, I'm willing to eat humble pie. Look, we sort of said that it'd be between the CELSO and Ndombele. Well, the CELSO's come out of here with 2 goals, and looking like probably, the best player on the preseason tour, I'd argue. So for me, I'm willing to eat humble pie on this because I'm never usually wrong. So I'll eat it on this one.
When it comes for the reasons for my behavior on this Lo Celso apology form, if I were to fill it out, I'd fill the first two. Definitely followed that Stop That GLC. Loved that Twitter account. And then also, I did probably also reference his goals and assists quite often because I think those were, some valid reasons maybe to bring up. The
Um,
Stop That GLC had some pretty incredible clips of how, bad he was at moments for Spurs. But then also, I mean, you do look at his numbers, since being in a Spurs shirt, and even like what during his loan periods, he wasn't really grabbing the goals and assists that you do need him to if he is going to be playing this sort of conventional number 10 type role. And I understand that he does different things other than goals and assists, but for how much we paid for him and how much we are paying for him in wages, no way that he can just get away with, just a few intricate passes here and there. He is going to have to get goals and assists. But I'm also going to say, I am definitely being proven wrong right now at the moment by CELSO. I've absolutely been one of the haters. But I do think we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves right now. Like
100%.
we're getting way apology
It's
forms
2:45.
already. Apology forms already. Like at least with the Emerson situation, I waited a few games, maybe at least before the Emerson apology forms started coming out. These are just 2 games in preseason at the end of the day, so I'm not going to be filling out the apology form just yet. I'm going to have to wait until a few games into the Premier League till I start filling it out. But I do like to see that it's already being, drafted. I do like to see that. People are eager.
Look, they are getting ahead of themselves, first of all. Look, I would also add, I'm not making excuses for the Celso's last few years at Tottenham. At the end of the day, we don't make the excuses of being a system player for Kane or Son. If you're a good player and you love the club and you want to play for the club and you want to give it all, I want people like Kane and Son, regardless of the manager, regardless of the system, to turn up and they do what they're best at. And I am sorry if I expect that from everyone else, which I feel like I'm entitled to. So, the Celso still has a long way to go to prove, but I'm willing to give him this season.
Billy says an Emerson assist. I'm at least leaving here with something. I love to see that, Billy. And I think that's when people were really at their lowest with the score line. And as well, SW Spurs says, haven't watched the preseason games, but can anybody give a swerve on Kane's body language? Anything different? Dave, you love to speculate on body language. Can you give us an insight on Harry Kane's hair, his his demeanor, his tan, his body language, his emotions? Where is Harry Kane right now?
Can 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Just needs maybe another week or two if you wanted to make it a pure 10. Here, 10 out of 10, Jack. It's got volume behind it. It's vibrant. There's good strength to it. I know he's using the good shower gel, sorry, not shower gel,
Conditioner.
shampoo and conditioner as well, especially with that pay rise that he's been getting at Tottenham. So he's on the good stuff. But look, there's a lot being made into Kane's. Oh, is he interested? Look, it's as simple as wingers in the second half are playing on the right side with the right foot, swinging it in. The wingers, when Kane is playing, are cutting inside, which means it makes it harder for him to be able to get involved in the play. It's simple.
I also
It's
feel
nothing to
like
do with interest.
Kane always looks like he's just gotten back from a big bender after every single preseason. Like he really does, the way the way he carries himself, like he just like his pace, like it gets cut in half. He's not even fast to begin with, but it feels like his pace gets cut in half even more. So I never really like to read much into Kane's body language or even his contributions much to begin with, actually, in preseason, because he usually is half of what he usually of his best version when he's in preseason, and even sometimes in the first few games of the Premier League. Patty says, I can't wait to tell my grandchildren about the times we used to dominate these preseason tours. I mean, it's been trophies galore, hasn't it? And don't you
There's one
forget
missing.
the Walter Toll Memorial
Yeah.
Trophy, Dave.
Jack, I mean, I only listed it off on the show earlier on, right? We've got the Audi Cup, Walter Till Cup, and now we're the Lion Cup champions or Tiger Cup champions. Rah, 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 rah. Absolutely love it. I'm buzzing. Look, I know people are going to call me pathetic, but realistically, how close are we going to get to trophies during the season? Yeah, so I'll celebrate the small ones when I can.
Absolutely right.
All
And
right.
Kane is saying Paratici is when seeing Joe Lewis in prison, and I do imagine they could cross paths at some stage. I hope Paratici has some sort of extradition plan to the U.S. That'd be fun if he gets to come over and see New York. I'd love to see him on the 4 train. The caller has said it's hardly a surprise that someone who made money betting against his own country is a bit dodgy. Sadly, changes absolutely nothing at Spurs. Now back to talking about why we haven't signed a center back. Yeah, people. I think there's this sort of divide between does this ever even mean anything? Yes, it's embarrassing. Yes, it's not a good look. But does this actually have any real implications on Tottenham Hotspur? I guess the caller here is sort of saying it doesn't. And, despite us, probably reacting to it on the day, a few days from now, we're just going to still be saying, where are the center backs?
Yeah, the clubs have gone a long way, Jack, to, they've got to great lengths in order not to buy centre backs and stop people from talking about it. Great lengths.
And this a very very popular Crystal Palace fan account says that given the way things tend to be at Spurs, most of their fans will have seen a U.S. attorney alleging a brazen insider trading from their owner on here last night, and not even have even been practically or particularly shocked. Chaos is their normality at this point. When I even saw the news of it last night, I also really did not act all that surprised or really was all that stunned by it. It does feel like we become a bit numb to this type of thing, and it's just our type of thing. We love to have the extraordinary scenarios when it comes to Spurs, and we do enjoy the bit of extraordinary chaos. So I'm not all that surprised. Really, not all that surprised. In fact, I didn't even have much of a
You're right,
reaction
Tom.
other than laughter. Really, just had a bit of laughter actually towards it. Harry
Yeah.
Kane, Dave, could this be a sign? If we're going to read into body language, he's just 3 hours ago given his summation of the trip. He said incredible support in Thailand and Singapore and amazing countries to visit too. Thanks for having us.
Oh, look, I was busy doing other things. I didn't know. So I have to go in and put 20 love hearts in underneath, along with, please stay and a couple of other things. So thanks for alerting me to the Jack. Harry, I'm on my way.
And as well, Emerson and Richie had a really great interview, and they just both were sort of speaking about each other, how hard they work, how much they're looking forward to next season. And I would say the big takeaway from it is actually Emerson was saying, straight away, look, we're trying to get back into the Champions League. And then he kind of digressed and said, Europe, that would work as well. But it was interesting to see Emerson, motivated and right away sort of mentioning Champions League. That's where we belong. He basically said that, Dave. I loved it.
That's what I love to hear, Jack. Players with ambitions, right? Players saying where they want to be, not when trophies are mentioned, laughing. I mean, fair play to Emerson. I mean, that's exactly the sort of attitude we expect. And let's hope it rubs off on certain other individuals that when these conversations prop up, that they'll just get caught laughing.
Mm.
That'd be brilliant. Big
Every
up, Emer go.
Emergoat, exactly right. And Richie looking pretty happy after that. And his English actually was pretty great, at least compared to last time, I've heard it. So Richie's English definitely improved significantly over the summer. He's working hard on plenty of things. Everybody smash that like button. Do leave a comment down below on anything we might have missed. Also, again, feel free to tag Dave or myself at Jack_Kanicki. And with Dave, it's at theirishyid. If you do want to have your tweets responded to, and if you also feel like there's something that we should take a look at that we might have missed, everybody hit the like button on the way out. We will be seeing you. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
In the big end, we
You know,
trust.
trust. Purple.